called New Anime You Should Be Watching in 2025 from Kitsune Anime. All right, let's see which animes he's watching.
2024 was a really special year for me.
Yeah.
Not only was it a great year for anime, with so many new fan favorites being brought into the limelight of anime discussion, but it was also the year where I discovered one of my new all-time favorite animes in Frieren. And it was thanks
I thought he was gonna go somewhere else with that. Yeah, Frieren is amazing. I thought he was gonna name a shitty anime and, you know, cut to the fucking memes. Yes, the anime that changed my life, Newgate. Failure Frame. Fucking I parry everything. Fucking I'm trying to think of so many other like mid isekais that we just watched that my brain's been rotten but Frieren, fantastic anime.
in Frieren. And it was thanks to that show that this entire channel really got kickstarted. After my
Oh yeah, Frieren video, right? Trending topics, bro. If you got in the algorithm for that shit, you popping off.
Frieren video, people started tuning in and supporting me. And so for that, I'll always be thankful to 2024.
Get that bag. It must be fucking nice. I'm not blaming this guy. I'm glad that he did his thing. Bro, I could not get into the Frieren algorithm if I fucking tried. 3 separate times I dropped and picked up the show trying to brute force this shit while every other anime reaction channel is just easy getting over like 50k fucking views per episode, and I'm in the corner farming these shitty ass isekais wondering, why can't I get in it? Well, it's probably because I was farming shitty isekais and my audience is a bunch of fucking retards that just want to eat slop and don't care about actual good art. You reap what you sow.
But who cares about that? 2024, throw it in the garbage. We're talking about 2025.
Hell
baby.
yeah, brother.
Woo! Out with the old, in with the new. Let's go. 2025, here I come.
Let's go.
I said, 2024 was a great year for anime. But I'm always looking to the future and eagerly anticipating what new wrecking ball is going to crash into online anime culture. For one, we're getting continuations of several highly praised animes like Apothecary Diaries,
Solo Leveling,
Fire Force, and of course One Piece. And
the fuck? What about Solo Leveling? What about 100 Girlfriends?
People have come to expect that these respective seasons of anime will probably be just as incredible. However, today I don't want to talk about existing series because of course those are going to be highly anticipated. Rather, I wanted to focus today on series that have yet to receive anime.
Frieren isn't really reactor friendly? No, you're so wrong about that. If you think Frieren isn't reactor friendly, why would every other fucking channel easily clear 100k views per episode? Tell me this right now. I hate this fucking idea. People misinforming others by saying, oh, this anime is just not reactor friendly. Nah, I've seen the numbers. I've seen other channels come out of fucking nowhere reacting to Frieren and get so many views so fucking easily, get hard carried by that one show. Don't fucking tell me that shit's not reactor friendly.
You know, stuff that maybe not as many people will know about. And these include series that either just started this year or are coming sometime in the future. And starting us out is a show that is coming out on January 11th.
This might be the most disappointing series that's gonna come out though. And I'm not dooming on it. I'm actually looking forward to it. I was pretty excited about the trailers, but it turns out a lot of the Japanese audience fucking hates this shit because the manga is supposed to be super hype for the fights. The fights is essential in this show. The fight is like pretty much the most important thing maybe. And then the trailer gave such mid animation for the fights. So like TMS Entertainment had to go around deleting these hate comments from the fans. And there's also the aspect of TMS Entertainment. You know what I mean? Copyright holders, they go out and block Blue Box. They're probably gonna go out and block, you know, Honey Lemon Soda, which is a TMS Entertainment anime. I think Honey Lemon Soda is. I'm not too sure. And then this one as well, Sakamoto Days. Like, there's a good chance this shit's gonna get blocked on YouTube as well.
The day after this video goes up, in fact. That show is Sakamoto Days. Being based on a Shonen Jump manga, there's a good chance that a lot of you probably already know about this series. But nonetheless, it's one that I've been incredibly excited about. For anyone who doesn't know, Sakamoto Days follows, as you might have guessed, Taro Sakamoto, an ex-assassin who, after marrying the love of his life, having a kid, and gaining a few
It is unreal how much the wife looks like Kobeni from Chainsaw Man. Like the entire face, the hairstyle, even the hair clip.
Pounds, decides to leave his assassin ways behind him and settles into domesticated.
Wait. Is the author of Sakamoto Days also from the same house as Fujimoto when working on Chainsaw Man? Anybody know? Because if the author of Sakamoto, because the Dan author is from Fujimoto house, right? I was thinking if Sakamoto Days author is also from the same place. Okay, it's not. I'm like, maybe they took inspiration from Kobani from there.
Family life running a convenience store. And you know, things are fine until his former life begins to catch up with him and he starts seeing assassins infiltrating his store. If you were to just look at Sakamoto Days on the surface, it probably wouldn't stand out all that much. I feel like often these action comedy shows don't blow up nearly as much as these straight up battle shonens, but Sakamoto Days has been doing pretty well in Weekly Shonen Jump since its debut in 2020.
It's definitely harder to sell like an old fat man as the face of your show to a bunch of children, right? People want to see hype characters like Sukuna. People want to see hype characters like, I don't know, some other shit in Demon Slayer, right? How do you appeal to that audience when your fucking main character looks like this? Well, they're probably hoping on like the contrast, right? The gap of like this fat old guy versus this sleek guy whenever the transition happens. I think it's gonna, I mean, it's doing well in the manga, right?
Its debut in 2020. The premise alone is so ripe for gags and comedy that I really do feel like people are gonna latch on to this anime. The juxtaposition of assassin affairs and day-to-day convenience store life really sets up for a lot of great memorable gags. And of course, it's not like there isn't any action at all. It's just that instead of most of it coming from a screaming prepubescent boy, it's coming from a 50-year-old convenience store owner. Wait, he's not 50? Well,
how old is he?
How old is he then?
30 something.
Let me look this up. How old is Taro
60.
Sakamoto?
70.
Wait, what do you mean he's only
27? Jesus fucking Christ. The assassin lifestyle must be so stressful, huh?
27? I've always loved the trope.
It's a 27-year-old man. Bro looking like Anzai Sensei from Slam Dunk, bro. He looking 60 minimum.
Of the unassuming guy is actually way cooler than he lets off, and Sakamoto basically encapsulates that to a T. It also helps that his design is both incredibly simple yet sticks out and is memorable all the same, which of course are designs that I always appreciate. Sakamoto Days is animated.
This is the issue. This name that you see here, TM Entertainment, this is the issue. They go out and block everything.
By TMS Entertainment, who in the past have done shows like Lupin, Dr. Stone, and D. Grayman. They're not known for having super crazy animation or anything, but they generally get the job done pretty well, and I think they're a good fit for an action comedy like.
But here's the thing. Good enough is not good enough here. Like, if the entire show is heavily carried by its incredible fight scenes, you can't be good enough, right? Like, the fight scenes in the trailers, to me, it looked okay, but I didn't realize how much emphasis there was in the fight scenes compared to at least, like, I guess the slice of life elements or, you know, the other characterizations of the show. So, hoping that it's gonna be good, but I feel like there's gonna be a huge drama when the first episode releases.
Like Sakamoto Days. So yeah, I think this show is definitely an anime to keep your eyes on. However, given how much complaining I did last year about the utter lack of original animes in this day and age, I feel like it would be hypocritical of me to not highlight a few on this list. And the first one I'd like to talk about
Mappa.
is the newest work from
Zenshu.
Studio Mappa, as well as famed Cowboy Bebop director Shinichiro Watanabe. That show being Lazarus.
Never mind, not Zenshu.
Lazarus is set approximately 30 years in the future, where a cure-all miracle drug is developed by a neuroscientist named Dr. Skinner and given to the masses. And you know, that's pretty nice of this.
It sounds like a zombie apocalypse is about to happen.
Dr. Skinner guy, you know, seems like a pretty swell fella. I'm sure he doesn't have any kind of, you know, evil ulterior motives or anything.
He looks pretty sus.
You just got punked. Yeah, turns out Dr. Skinner, not so cool. He's actually kind of like Jigsaw, if Jigsaw was a really smart neuroscientist. And now the cure-all drug is going to kill everyone in 30 days unless someone can find the whereabouts of Dr. Skinner. And
That's a pretty interesting premise immediately. I don't know if it's going to do well on my channel, but this is probably something I would watch myself.
thus, to save humanity, the Lazarus Task Force is formed. This show was announced in 2023 in collaboration with Adult Swim's Toonami block. And I have to tell the truth here, I am a little bit weary of Adult Swim's original anime at this point. I really didn't enjoy Ninja Kamui. It was just kind of a super generic action anime. And the less that's said about the disaster that was Uzumaki, the better. But I'm actually really hopeful about this anime. The premise seems interesting enough, and I just really vibe with the overall aesthetic and character designs. But what I'm most looking forward to is the involvement of Shinichiro Watanabe.
Yeah, this guy, huge talent, Glaze.
This guy has made such legendary shows in the past, like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, and Space Dandy. And I really appreciate what he stands
OG.
for as a director. Someone that just wants to make cool anime for the sake of making cool anime. You can tell that everything he works on is driven by passion, and I think that's something that really needs to be at the forefront of the anime industry, especially when it comes to original anime like this. However, Lazarus actually isn't the thing I'm looking forward to the most coming out of MAPPA this year.
Zenshu.
That title would belong to the new original anime,
Hey, there it is.
Zenshu.
It's pretty decent. So many people are molding that it's like an isekai, man. They're like, huh, I was expecting a show about production value, but it turned into another generic isekai drop. And I'm like, damn. I don't know what kind of life you must fucking live to be molding because it's an isekai anime, but I thought it was a pretty good anime. The first episode, I thought it was stunning. The plot is unique enough for me to enjoy. We haven't seen a show like this where it's kind of similar to like ORV, right? Where it's like you already know what's going to happen in the story. You're put in, and now you can kind of like change the trajectory of the story. It's pretty fun so far. Like, I don't get why people are molding for this show just because I guess it's an isekai, huh?
If you've watched my videos in the past, a lot of you probably are aware that I really do not care about isekai. Isekai isn't inherently bad as a genre. I just personally think most isekais are kind of dull and lame and
I don't think isekai is inherently like bad. What do you mean?
bad as a where that I really do not care about isekai. Isekai isn't inherently bad as a genre.
Inherently bad as a genre is such a condemning thing to state. What about isekai doesn't make it like inherently bad? You basically are saying that this specific genre can only be bad. And that's just a wrong take. Straight, this is just not an opinion. Any fucking genre has the chance of doing well or bad. It's about the execution of these tropes and cliches. Isekai has a very bad reputation to a lot of people because of its immense success. Because it's so successful, so many more people are coming in and writing their own original stories. And what happens when you have more and more? Or did he say isn't inherently bad? Hold up, let's hear it again.
I really do not care about isekai. Isekai isn't inherently bad as a genre.
It's a little awkward. I think he's saying isn't. Okay. I heard is inherently bad. If I put the subtitles on, it says isn't.
I really do not care about isekai. Isekai isn't inherently bad as a genre.
I thought he said isekai is an inherently bad genre, but he said isn't. Anyways, to finish off my take, it's just because it's so fucking popular that more people are doing it. And of course, you're gonna have way more fucking trash and garbage because everyone's trying to, ride the hype train, right? It can only be, trashy because there's just so much garbage being pumped out. Doesn't mean that like fundamentally it's bad, but the auto subs are correcting me.
I just personally think most isekais are kind of dull and lame.
Agreed, right? Most isekais are dull and lame. Because again, there's just so much fucking garbage out there.
And not really my kind of thing. I never really feel like they do anything that interesting with the concept, and thus, if anything, I feel like most of them are just kind of missed potential.
Yeah, they always stick to the same formula, right? Stick to the thing that works. Stick to your fantasy medieval setting, guild, adventure, dungeon, and shit like that. Like, where is like the space like exploration isekais, man? Like isekai, the concept of other world implies that you have so much creative freedom to just write the stories with, yet we've been given the same fucking environment over and over and over. Why? Well, because people are writing off of what's familiar and what's like comfortable, right? The more like an established thing is successful, the more people want to emulate that and basically just stick to the what's the word? Stick to the playbook. Why try something new when something is already established? You can keep farming that out.
So with that said, if an isekai shows up on my personal list of most anticipated anime, that should probably tell you enough about how interesting I think it looks. Zenshu follows animator Natsuko Hirose, who, after being given her first gig as an anime director, dies from overwork. And even as the year passes...
Well, not really. She died from eating rainbow clam chowder shit.
As this video becomes more and more relevant. After her death, Hirose awakens in her favorite childhood anime, A Tale of Perishing, the series that inspired her to be an animator in the first place. And as you might expect with a show called A Tale of Perishing, the anime's story isn't exactly sunshine and rainbows. However, Hirose finds that she's able to alter the events of the story by reanimating them. And to me, this already sounds like it has the potential to be one of the biggest anime of the year. Not only is the
Potential? Yeah, I mean, we'll see about that, right? We only watched one episode. The first episode wasn't such a crazy hook that makes me think that, though. Like, straight up. I personally enjoyed the villainous OG-san anime that we watched last night. The first episode way more than Zenshu. Zenshu first episode was enjoyable, right? It's a setting that I'm very familiar with. It's very cozy. It's pretty. It's fun to watch. But like, is it gonna be peak? I mean, this is potential, right? He's not saying it is going to be. It says it's potential. You never know. What if they actually do something fucking crazy, man, in the next couple episodes?
premise incredibly promising, especially for an isekai, but it also serves as an interesting meta commentary on, well, the anime industry, which you would not expect coming from MAPPA. A studio many feel as though is beginning to lose its way, what with, the employee abuse and everything.
Yeah, this has been happening since like Jujutsu Kaisen, Shibuya Incident, and even before that, right?
The fact they're even willing to allow a show that depicts an animator dying.
Well, here's the thing though. If you actually watch the episode, there's interesting propaganda happening where the director, Hirose, is not being overworked by the company. She takes on other people's work because she cannot trust anyone and she is basically egotistical like that. Rather than offloading the work, she decides to do it everything by herself. She also chose to eat that shitty ass fucking rotten clam chowder fish and died. So the studio honestly makes it look like, the anime makes it look like, this employee right over here, that's basically a MAPPA employee, she was treating Hirose really kindly. You get to see, how the different talent gets treated, right? The shittier talent gets treated like ass, but Hirose is glazed. But yeah, they're trying to really safely, do this where they didn't die from overwork. She chose to basically end herself by her own volition. That's the kind of narrative that I've witnessed.
From overwork is surprising to say the least, and I'm actually really hopeful it signifies a shift in their practices. It
Absolutely not. No, that would never happen.
probably won't though. I mean, let's be real here.
Yeah,
At the time of this video, there should be 1 or 2 episodes available to watch, so I'd say do yourself a favor and check it out when you have.
Again, yeah, listen, like this anime is a decent watch, maybe even a great watch. Like, just check it out. It's fun. If you're an isekai enjoyer, check it out. If you're not, I mean, there's a lot of other animes you could watch, but I think this is definitely one of the better isekai so far, based off episode 1.
Have a chance. Next up, we have an anime that was announced all the way back in
Witch Hat Atelier. This is also getting a lot of drama.
2022. Witch Hat Atelier. This is an adaptation of the popular fantasy manga series that premiered in 2016 and is still ongoing. The story follows Coco, a young girl who aspires to be a witch and in the process of practicing some magical runes.
What was the drama with this one? What were people upset about in this one? I forget.
Accidentally turns her mother
I think people were pissed off at the trailer. I mean, that's the case with fucking everything that hasn't come out just yet, right?
into stone. After this tragedy unfolds, she's taken in by a witch named Kifri. I'm sorry.
The Zom 100 Studio Bug Films. Okay, that's the thing. There, people are probably trying to say like, "Oh my God, studio issues."
If I'm pronouncing that wrong, but also your name is Kifri, so I'm not really gonna feel that bad about it. Who is in the process of tracking down the coven who could be the source of the runes that Coco used to turn her mother into stone. I'll leave the synopsis there, but from what I've heard, the story has a lot of interesting twists and turns and indulges in the same narrative grandiosity that I enjoy so much in stories like Full Metal Alchemist, Berserk, and One Piece.
That's right. Based off the Giguk video we watched, Witch Hat seems to be pretty dark in nature. Kind of like what's it called? Journeying through, these like forbidden magics and shit. Also, the depth of the magic mechanics or like its combat seems fucking cracked. I feel like this is gonna be an amazing anime if done right.
where eventually a story about one or two individuals branches off into a larger, grander narrative. And that really is just a great way to get me on board with just about any show. The manga has incredible art that really captures that aesthetic of a cozy fairy tale story. And I think the guys over at Bug Films have done an excellent job capturing that same feeling. I think the fantasy genre is such an untapped well of creativity for anime storytelling. And
Yeah. People are too busy. Like, that's the funniest shit, right? Because, like, what is fantasy setting? What is the fantasy genre? It's basically isekai, but remove the fucking otherworlder. The entire premise and setting here is any isekai fucking European, like, you know, medieval time shit. You know what I mean? But remove the otherworlder and suddenly the story becomes fundamentally different.
And I'm just really glad that we seem to be going through a renaissance of new fantasy anime that have every intention to capitalize on the genre's vast potential.
I hope there's more of it, man. I hope we see a paradigm shift of people stop trying to farm as many shitty isekais as possible and try to farm as many shitty fantasies as possible. And then now we can shit on fantasy in the next like 5 years saying there's too many goddamn fantasy animes, man.
That being said, if you want to talk about potential, then we need to bring up the final anime of this video.
Villainous Oji-san isekai. Momentary Lily. Fuck it. The most recent Momentary Lily episode had me shook.
Studio Bones' next big project after My Hero Academia.
Oh, what's
an
that?
anime that I think could be one of the biggest smash hits for years to come.
What is it?
That anime is Gachiakuda. I've talked about Gachiakuda a little bit in the past,
Oh yeah, no, I think we checked out a trailer for this before.
but nowhere is it more relevant than here. After being accused for a crime that he is not guilty of, our protagonist Rudo is cast down from a floating city into the pit, a place where those high in society
Poverty.
dump all of their garbage, which of course includes their criminals. It's here that Rudo finds himself in a literal realm of trash where basically everything sucks. I mean, there's literal trash monsters. It really can't get worse than that.
The art looks stunning. I mean, it's a monster that you can see just like trash scraps sticking out of it. So there's like a floating island, and that's where like the good people live. And if you are bad, you get tossed below. I love the setting already.
Rudo is eventually rescued by a man named Engine, who offers to help him survive
Engine.
the harsh environment of the pit. And in turn, Rudo's quest for revenge against those who wronged him begins.
Okay.
I really do think that Gachiakuda has the potential to be the next big thing. It just screams originality, and something I really like about it is that it just feels so much like its own unique entity. This isn't me saying Gachiakuda isn't derivative in any way. I'm sure that the manga has plenty of inspirations, but from what I've seen, the story really does seem dead set on making its own world feel alive and distinct. And of course, I love massive stories that put large emphasis on the world itself. And if you can add in some mystery on top of that, we have a winning formula on our hands. The art style is both visually appealing while
It's very edgy looking anime. The whole, like, if there's enough mysteries to, you know, like, I love settings like this where there's like a meta commentary on like people being segregated into different class structures and you having to struggle because you just weren't rich enough, you just weren't good enough, people being condemned for the wrong things, being casted outside, and now you're just in this trash heap and you're trying to survive, and there's like deeper mysteries of this world of why this even exists. Like, stuff like that's fascinating. So like, we'll see.
while also having this grimy edge to it, which I can't imagine is an easy balance to strike. But I have faith that the people over at Bones will be able to work their magic and deliver something truly incredible. You
We'll
heard
see.
it here. I'm expecting big things from this anime. But I want to know what you guys think. What are some anime that you're looking forward to in 2025? And what are some that you might be watching right now? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys liked what you saw, please
And that's pretty much it. Comment below for the engagement of the algorithm. There's not really any other 2025 animes that I'm really looking forward to because I'm just so focused on winter 2025 right now. I want Danmachi to come back and give me a goddamn closure in spring. Dandadan is gonna come back, but that's like a sequel, right? We're talking about brand new animes that's gonna happen. So that's pretty much it. Please go check out Mr. Kitsune Anime's channel. Here's the link. Give it a like, and I'll see you guys next time.